Am I the asshole for secretly eating takeout food my pregnant wife cannot eat because she has gestational diabetes? My wife, she's 34, and I, 35 years old, have been married for 10 years and been together for 15. She is 7 months pregnant and has gestational diabetes, which has been very hard on her, and by extension very hard on me too and our relationship. Her doctor has strictly recommended she follows a strict diet, and that means no sugar or high-calorie foods such as Alfredo sauce or pizza and the likes. Naturally, she has been very upset because she has cravings, but there's no way she can indulge. She has gotten sick of the alternatives suggested to her and would start sobbing sometimes when we go outside because she will see all these food places only to realize she cannot eat what she wants. I feel for her, I really do. Now our relationship started to break down a little when she started taking her anger out at me. My offense, ordering the things I like to eat such as cookies, cheese, frozen snacks. We get groceries delivered to us BTW, just like any other person does. She was extremely mad at me for being able to enjoy eating these things and made me feel guilty for eating stuff she craves. My breaking point was once she angry cried over the fact I brought home a box of donuts I received from office on my birthday. I was sick of her behavior and the constant policing of my food intake in our home that I, in no uncertain terms, made it very clear that she cannot punish me for a health problem she has, and that this is my house too, and I will eat and drink whatever and whenever I please. We had a bad argument that day, and I uttered divorce. That seemed to shake us both, and we did a few sessions of marital counseling. To keep it short, our therapist held her accountable and shared that it was unfair on me to be at the receiving end of her emotional distress. However, she also emphasized that my wife is probably feeling unsupported too, and I could try to be a bit more discreet and stick to making healthier meals together, which would be great for both of us. Since my wife cannot make up for excess blood sugar she has by working out a lot, she is chubby and has bad knees. I can see why she feels helpless. As a solution, we decided to stock up the forbidden foods in the second fridge we have in the drawing room of our home that we use to store drinks and guest snacks for. It's better when reminders of the things she craves but can't eat are not there in the common fridge. This also means I can almost never order takeout at home, and sometimes I miss doing that while watching Netflix. I still missed having the occasional pasta dish at the Cheesecake Factory or McDonald's, so sometimes when I drive home from work, I eat in my car, keeping the therapist's reminder triggers in mind, because I know that my wife, knowing that I ate stuff she can't, will make her mad. Yesterday, though, I took my wife on a long drive and she found a receipt of the Cheesecake Factory on the floor. At the moment when she found it, she started sobbing and wouldn't talk to me. She is now pissed at me and feels like I have betrayed her. I think she is overreacting, and I don't think I am wrong, since 80% of the meals I have in a week are with her. I try to have takeouts without her on Fridays mostly. I do not think I am an asshole because wife and I have an agreement that I will be discreet when I want to indulge in food I want to eat so that she does not get triggered every time. Am I the asshole? Reddit says yes, you are. Am I the asshole for putting mistakes in my shared Google Doc notes? I'm 21 years old and currently taking organic chemistry I. Needless to say, the class is incredibly tough. Luckily though, I have been studying since day one, so I am doing alright in the class. I am taking the class with a group of friends, so to help them out, I shared the personal notes that I take in class with them via a Google Doc, and I encourage them to invite anyone they know. Recently, one of my friends invited a friend of theirs, let's call her Jess, she's 20, who I've never really interacted with, but I have a massive crush on. I think she and I would make a great couple, but she's not really into sensitive smart guys because on her Instagram I see all her stories show her out with really jock-like men. Our third exam is in a couple of days, and as I was going through the Google Doc, I realized that she was using my doc the most. You can see who looks at or edits the doc on Google Docs, and most of my other friends would pop up sometimes, but I would see her icon pop up a lot. I also know for a fact that she isn't doing well in the class, so I got a really good idea. I would put subtle mistakes in the doc so that she wouldn't do well in the exam, and then I can offer to tutor her. That way I can interact with her and talk to her so that she'll realize that I have a great personality and we can hopefully go out together. I told my friend about this plan and they called me an incel AH. Personally, I think they're overreacting because Jess isn't gonna do well either way, even if I don't put mistakes, so my plan will actually benefit her grades, while also allowing me to interact with her and talk to her. I think it's a win-win for everyone, but I was wondering if my friend may have been on to something, so am I the asshole? Reddit says yes. Am I the asshole if I told a close family friend that her husband cheated on her 4 years ago? So my situation is a little difficult, so I thought I would confide in the good professional people of Reddit. Couple days ago, me and my brother were hanging out late night, doing regular guy things, drinking, watching sports, etc. We haven't seen each other in maybe 5 to 6 years, so naturally we started talking about life and what's been going on the past few years. Towards the end of our conversation, we started to get to the secrets. I mentioned something along the lines that I smoked weed for the first time and did various other substances. This was hard for me to tell because my whole life I was pretty much anti-drugs and such. We both laughed about it, saying, "Just don't let mom find out." The joke died out after a little bit, and then he just blurted out, "I cheated on my wife." At first it didn't register until I saw his face, and he was dead serious. I for one hate cheaters, but I try to do my best not to judge anyone for their actions. He begins explaining this was something that happened about 4 years ago when his wife was always busy with work. She would travel a lot and be away for weeks at a time. He told me they were going through a tough time back then, lots of arguing, not communicating, and that he felt really lonely. During the same time, my brother met a girl at his local gym, started off as friends, slowly kept bonding, and you guessed they did the sex. He told me this occasion only happened once, and pretty much cut her off after that night because he started to feel guilty for a short while. Few months later, his relationship turned for the better for him and his wife. Pretty much after his wife's travels slowed down, his whole relationship has been great. They've both gotten promotions, bought a house, more family vacations, they have a kid. He told me life has been good to him now, and he's just thankful things have finally worked out. As stated before, I hate cheaters, and I've always felt that the person being cheated on always has the right no. I know for sure this would probably destroy their marriage, and there would be a fight for the kid. My heart tells me I have to tell her because it's the right thing to do, especially because I've known my brother to cheat one other time on an ex-girlfriend couple years before his current wife. My brain tells me it's none of my business, and I should keep my mouth shut. I don't want to see their kid go throughout that kind pain either. On one hand, I betray my brother if I say something. On the other hand, I betray our close family friend because I know this secret and I don't say anything. I wish he never told me. Ignorance is truly bliss. So there it is, WIBTA. If I said something, edit. I'm referring SIL as close family friend because my family and her family have known each since elementary school days and thus are very close, LOL. I thought this iteration would make the relationship sound stronger than just SIL, but it looks like I was wrong. And so Reddit says that yes, you're going to be an asshole. Am I the asshole for telling my wife that she doesn't need to be with her sick friend at the hospital? So my wife has a friend from childhood named Anthony. I'm being completely honest here when I say that he and I don't get along. It's not like he is rude or disrespectful, nothing like that, but all I feel towards him is annoyance, sort of speak, because of how much my wife sees him. He lives alone and now suffers from a medical condition, cancer, that requires him to go to the hospital regularly to receive treatment. I found out that my wife promised him to go with him to his every chemo treatment as support. She said it's a commitment she made to be there for him during this rough time since he has no one else besides him. Okay, I had no issue with that at first, but then this started affecting me, e.g. I can't go see my friends because I have to stay with my son on X day so my wife could be with Anthony for his treatment, etc, etc. I've talked to her about it, but she said that Anthony needs company and that she's just being supportive, and this is when he needs her the most. I let it go, but last week was just kind of my last straw. Anthony had a other chemo session treatment, and my wife wanted to go with him and asked me to stay home with our son. I told her I had a meetup with my mom and sister to eat lunch and that I won't be home. She said she needed to go be with him, and I kind of flipped out at her and said that she doesn't need to be with him and could literally go see him at home the next day or something. She threw a fit and called me cruel for forcing her to leave Anthony by himself since she's all he has, and that I was making her look bad. She also said my appointment with mom and sister wasn't as important as a chemo session, but I decided to just leave to end the argument. She ended up staying at home but kept ignoring me when I got back, calling me selfish for not letting her be there to support Anthony with what he's going through. Some of her girlfriends think I'm being a controlling jerk with no consideration for Anthony and what he's going through. Reddit says yes, you are an asshole. Am I the asshole for announcing our pregnancy at my brother's wedding after he proposed at mine? My brother said he was going to propose at my wedding. I told him no, that it was a day about myself and my wife, and we did not want any distractions. My mom lost her shit. She said that he wanted family he might not see again for a while to be a part of the proposal. I said I did not give a shit and that if he did it, I would have him kicked out. He did it, and my mom said if I tried kicking him out, she would leave too. I just remember seething inside. My brother got married last weekend. Instead of a welcome to the family toast, I used the time to announce that we were expecting our first baby. My mom was upset, but my grandmother told her to sit down and shut up. We spent most of the reception talking to family we would not see again for a while about our coming baby. My mom says I was an asshole for taking attention away from my brother on his wedding day. She got really mad when I reminded her that she threatened to leave my wedding if I kicked him out after he proposed. I have the screen cap of the text messages. Reddit says no, you are not. Am I the asshole for telling my husband, I told you so, and laughing at me when we got the paternity test results? I'm 27 years old and have been married my husband, he's 28, for 2 years and gave birth to our daughter 5 weeks ago. What happened was that our daughter came out with blonde hair and pale blue eyes, while my husband and I have brown hair and brown eyes. My husband freaked out at this and refused to listen to my explanation that sometimes babies are born with lighter hair and eyes that get darker over time. He demanded a paternity test and threatened to divorce me if I didn't comply. So I did. After my daughter and I got home from the hospital, my husband went to stay at his parents' house for the first 3 weeks to get some space from me while I recovered, and he told them what was happening. My Emil called and informed me that if the paternity test revealed that the child wasn't his, she would do anything within her power to make sure that I was taken to the cleaners during the divorce. I had my sister to lean on and help me take care of the baby during this. We got the results back yesterday, and my husband came home to view them with me. I was on the couch in the living room, so he sat next to me, and we started to read the results. They showed that he was the father, and my husband had this shocked, kind of mortified look on his face with his eyes wide as he stared at it. I couldn't help but say, I told you so, and started laughing at the way he looked. My husband snapped out of his shock and got mad at me for laughing at him. We argued for a bit, which was mainly him yelling at me before my sister came downstairs and my husband shut up. After that, my husband went back to his parents' house to clear his head, and 2 to 3 hours later, my MIL called to scold me about laughing in my husband's face, because apparently it was kicking him while he was down. She's also left a couple nasty texts essentially saying the same thing this morning. I don't think I'm an AH, but I'd like outsider perspective on this. Thanks for watching. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who's the asshole and who's not? See you tomorrow.